I'm the Fish of Man, and this is the BigBaitPodcast. I'm here with a special, wonderful, beautiful, lovely guest. The CEO of Guess Who's Vegan, Shantae. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, you hear me. It's a lot of podcasts that do a lot of gossiping. We call this Big Bait, because we got bigger fish to fry. Excuse me. This new for me, because I'm a Philly cheesesteak lover. I'm a pork chop man, you hear me? I'm like a hamburger helper lover. You know, I love the double cheeseburgers with the bacon on the side. No, to put the bacon on it and extra bacon on the side. I don't think that's, too good for me. Following you and your channel, I'm starting to learn why. So before I get into all that, I just want to ask you, what inspired you to go vegan?
Okay, what inspired me to go vegan? So, it was my daughter. One day, my daughter came home, and in school they had watched a documentary about veganism, and she came home and she told me she wanted to go vegan. And at first, when she brought it to my attention, I was like, okay, I would do this for you just for a week. I would consider doing it for a week with her. That's how it started. She brought her home and said she wanted to do it, and because she had tried many diets with me in the past before, I was like, okay, I definitely have to give her this opportunity to do what she wanted to do as well. So I was open to trying it with
so
her.
How that week turned into a whole lifelong journey?
Good question. So what I did was I decided I wanted to do a little bit of research before I dived into this week. So I went on YouTube. We call it YouTube University. And I did some research. I did some research on recipes, though, because I knew I was going to do it with her. I just needed to know what it was I was going to prepare for us, because I wanted us to eat good for that week, because we was going to be eating for a week. So we had to have some type of good food. So
right.
I went on YouTube and I found some recipes that were similar to the foods that we liked. And I wrote those recipes down, and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to eat for the week. So I prepped, and I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And that week went so well for us. I was like, there was absolutely no way that I could go back. I didn't even try to go vegan. It really just came to me. It wasn't something that I wanted for myself. It just happened.
So we talking about like a challenge turned into a week turned into a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And now you CEO of Guess Who Vegan.
Yeah.
So explain to us how Guess Who Vegan was born.
Okay, so what I wanted to do when I first started is I wanted some type of accountability, and I wanted to document it. So before I even went vegan, I already had like a social media presence. So I wanted to also document this journey or this experience that we were gonna go on. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel specifically for this vegan challenge that me and my daughter was gonna do, because it was a challenge.
It was a
7-day challenge. So I was like, okay, in order to keep me on this challenge, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel. And I created a YouTube channel.
All right.
And I just started recording. I started recording every day just so I can hold myself accountable. And I'm so happy I did, because now that I'm almost 2 years in, when I look back, it just made me so happy, because I was such a baby in veganism then, and now when I look back, it just makes me so happy that I took that step and started on my journey.
So what was you eating prior to the
What wasn't I eating?
What was, like,
bacon cheeseburgers?
Oh, okay. So you were like me. You were hanging out.
I was hanging and swinging.
So you went from eating like everything.
Yeah.
You weren't like a vegetable person.
No,
like
never. I was never a vegetable
So you
person.
was like, you went straight from eating down dirty style soul food
to I made a switch in one day. So like I said, it was a challenge. So actually because it was a challenge, the day before I didn't even pig out, because I knew I was gonna go back to my original eating 7 days later. So I didn't even prep like a final meal for me ending my regular food journey. So I just was like, okay, once this is done, I go back to how I was eating. But it was life changing for me. It really just changed my life.
So when you got to that 7 day, what, like, I know you still had some chicken in the refrigerator.
Okay.
I know you still had some like groceries in the house.
I did.
So what you did? You like threw it away? What you?
So it was the 6th day. It was the 6th day.
Right.
That night. So on the fifth night, I was feeling like in my spirit that this was working so well for me. So by the 5th day, I had already lost 9 pounds. And remember, I said this was a challenge for me. So I didn't go in it with any expectations. I was only doing it for my daughter and just for her to feel like I was supporting her. Right. So by the 5th day, I had lost 9 pounds and my energy was through the roof. I was feeling so good. And that 5th night, I prayed about it and I was like, Lord, if this is what you really want for me, just let me know. Because I had never felt like how I felt before, just organic energy. Right. So on that 6th morning, and I'm so happy I documented it. So make sure y'all check out my YouTube channel because this entire experience, you can actually see it for yourself. And on that 6th day morning, I threw out all of anything in my house that wasn't vegan.
Hold on. So you threw away the cheeseburger?
I threw away everything.
You threw
everything. I threw away everything.
You ain't feel no type of way?
Type of way.
You was good?
I was absolutely, because when you experience like that type of energy organically just from the foods you're eating, it made me just say, okay, this is for me. This is what is working for me. And I threw everything out. Right. Mm-hmm. So how that went, like trying to figure out what you was gonna eat for the rest of your life. You threw away everything you ever knew since you was born. So like how you felt? Like you ain't feel lost? Like what I'm gonna do now? Okay, so I didn't feel lost. I felt like I was just like on a new journey. I wasn't scared. I just knew I had to dive more into it. But I wasn't scared to do that. I loved how I was feeling in that moment, and I liked it. So I was happy to find and figure out what would work for me and what I would be eating moving forward. So break down them feelings. What type of feeling was really making you feel so good? Was it like internal, external, both? Well, as far as my energy goes, it was internal and external, because I was waking up super early in the morning. I just had energy to do everything it was that I needed to do, and I felt different. I just felt really, really good. I don't even really know how to explain it, because I had never felt like that before. So I just knew it was right for me. Right. I don't know. It's a feeling that you experience where you just know this is for me. I felt good. I felt happy. I felt accomplished. Even just in those 6 days, I felt like I had did something that I didn't think I could do. Right. I didn't think I could do. So once I was able to complete that and, prove to myself, I felt empowered. So after that, your life dramatically changed. What career was you in before Guess Who's Vegan? So before I went vegan, I was a plus size model. And I was doing really well for myself on social media. I had Instagram and a YouTube channel dedicated just to me being a plus size woman. And I mean, I'm still plus size now, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just a healthier version of myself now. And so that's what I was doing before Guess Who's Vegan came along. And then when Guess Who's Vegan came along, I turned that into a business as well. I turned that into a vegan business where I show people how to cook vegan meals that they will actually enjoy. I coach people to help them also go vegan. It just turned into a whole lot of stuff.
So if you don't mind me asking, from the first day you started vegan until now, how much weight did you actually lose?
Okay, so the first month I lost 30 pounds. I lost 30 pounds my first month, and I was eating food that I actually liked. I was eating my vegan burgers. I was eating Chinese food. I was still eating everything that I would have normally eaten, just a vegan version of it. So I lost 30 pounds my first month, and within my first year, I lost 100 pounds.
100 pounds first year?
I lost 100 pounds my first year.
Oh, man.
Yep, lost 100 pounds organically. And let me tell you this. I had been on so many diets. Like, I had tried so many diets in my lifetime. And this was the first time that I wasn't trying to diet. And I actually just lost weight.
You just hanging out.
I was hanging. What? And I was eating.
Eating good.
I was eating.
Still tastes good.
Yes, still tasted good.
I ain't gonna lie. I always felt like the only reason why I don't want to be a vegan is because the food garbage. So, I mean, how can I still have that good food?
So that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. We love food. Right. And you know, especially like as Black culture, seasonings matter. Okay?
You hear me?
It definitely matters. So, what I did was I just figured out a way to make food taste just as good as it would just without the meat.
And it still tastes good. So I'm just saying, like, would I know the difference when I taste it? I'm gonna be like, oh, that's vegan.
Not my food.
Okay.
Not mine. You can't.
Okay. That's real, man. That's a big statement, because I'm talking about, like, that be my struggle with going vegan or even vegetarian. Like, okay, so put it like this. Even like the food that you normally eat now, like even chicken and stuff. For chicken to taste good, you have to season it with seasons, and seasons are primarily vegetables, just dehydrated. Right. So your food wouldn't taste good without the vegetables anyways, because you ain't gonna just throw no chicken in the oven without seasoning it. Right. And you're seasoning it with vegetables. I never thought about that. I mean, you giving me game. You hear me? Hey, I'm learning. You hear me? I'm learning. You hear me? Guess who's vegan? Hey, y'all might see this. I might be vegan next time y'all see me. You know what I'm saying? Because what she telling me sound real good. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to you prior to this podcast, and I was like, oh, I'm eating these granola bars and these fruit snacks. Mm-hmm. They fruit snacks now. I think they said 100% fruit. Was it? I don't remember, but I know probably 1% fruit. So what's the difference between thinking I'm eating healthy versus actually eating healthy? What's the difference? Okay, so let me just say this before I even get into that. Veganism, there's different levels of veganism. You can be an unhealthy vegan. You can be a very healthy vegan. You could be an alkaline vegan. Like, there are different stages of veganism. As far as eating healthy, though, I say that the entertainment is the front cover of whatever you're picking up. The front is for entertainment, and the back is actually where the nutritional information is at. So you turn over a box. I mean, on the front of a box, it'll probably say natural fruit or right. The front is always misleading. But when you turn it over and you read the actual ingredients, there you will find right. What is actually made up of. So you telling me when I get a box of fruit snacks and it says like vitamin C's and I'm looking at it, it's fortified. I mean, they add vitamin C to it. They're added. I mean, they add fortified iron to like everything, even meat and stuff. So even when it say like real fruit, I can't trust it. No, you cannot. Oh no, you can't trust it. Turn it over and read the back, like we were talking about. Stuff will say 100% this on the front, but when you read the actual back of it, it'll say
1%.
Right.
Yeah, so you just gotta, you have to read the actual labels of the food that you're purchasing or picking up.
So if I think I'm eating healthy, let's say like I done watched Subway commercials with Jerry. So I'm eating like Subway subs, and I'm eating like turkey ham and cheese or like turkey sandwiches, and I'm eating healthy, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Okay, so
hold on. So my hair, like Jerry lost all that weight.
He did,
and he was eating like bad, but then he went from the burgers to the subs. But you telling me even the ham and cheese sub sandwiches ain't no good for me?
Jared lost weight because he probably went from you're gonna lose weight if you're eating less calories,
right.
Regardless if it's healthy or not. If your caloric intake is at a deficit, you're going to lose weight. Right. But processed meats like ham and turkey, like the Subway meats, it's considered a class 1 carcinogen. So would you feed your child or give your child a cigarette? Because it's literally in the same classification as a cigarette.
You mean to tell me like lunch meat? We've been on lunch meat. I'm talking about like from back in the day, like the ham, the cheese. Some people, I don't like bologna, but some people don't like bologna.
I used to love bologna. I used to.
And that's like giving me a cigarette?
That's like smoking a cigarette.
The ham on your supermarket shelves starts out like this. Big lumps of pork meat. You have to inject the meat. A machine with a dozen syringes injects a liquid into the lumps of pork meat. But the pretty pink of our ham isn't natural at all. It's thanks to sodium nitrite. This additive fixes the pink of the meat during cooking. Otherwise, ham would be the color of roast pork. The big problem is that sodium nitrite is believed to be a danger to public health. The additive is suspected of playing a role in the development of colorectal cancer.
What about a hot dog?
A hot dog, same thing. It's like smoking a cigarette. And if you don't believe me, go to the FDA. It is on their website. It's the same thing as like asbestos, and a lot of people die from that.
If it's not one thing, it's another. A study finds a link between hot dogs now and cancer.
So why are hot dogs and lunch meat, why is it bad for you? Like, because I always thought it was healthy. So when I was trying to eat healthy, that's what I would go to lunch meat.
It's really highly processed. It's highly processed, and they use a lot of chemicals to make it look pretty. Because without those chemicals and without those preservatives, it'll stink, and the color will not look appealing for you to eat. So they use a lot of chemicals and stuff on that stuff. So don't take my word for it. Check the FDA. They list sausages and hot dogs and
breaking
ham and turkey as a class 1 carcinogen. So if you feeding your child hot dogs, you giving your children cigarettes.
So cigarettes equal cancer. So you mean to tell me that hot dogs, ham, cancer?
Increases your risk of cancer, absolutely.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
That's sad.
It is sad because they feed it in schools. It's like it's a cycle. They know what they're doing. They want you to be sick. They want you to be sick.
I don't believe this, man.
You better check the site.
I ain't gonna lie.
Better check the site.
I gotta look this up because you mean to tell me like hot dogs and lunch meat ain't good for me like I thought they was? No. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's scary. Yeah. And it'll give me cancer and cause me to die.
Yeah.
Oh man. What about milk? Cause they say, dairy is good for you. They say that milk give you calcium that help your bones and make you strong and make you mighty, you feel me? So milk is something that they gave us since we was kids, you know what I'm saying? So what about milk? Is milk good for us?
In my opinion, milk is not good for you because so milk is coming from a mother who just had a baby.
Right. And
milk is for that baby calf to grow at a very fast rate. So their milk contains a lot of growth hormones. I mean, because it's for a baby calf. It's for a baby to grow.
It's not for a human.
It's definitely not for a human. But so it has a lot of growth hormones in it to get that baby all of the nutrients that it would need. So for one, I mean, drinking milk isn't good in my belief, because that's what they do to the mother calves. They get the mother, and then they separate her from the child, and they just drain her. So first of all, she's going through a lot of stress as a mom, being separated from her child or from her calf, and so she's already stressed, and then on top of her being stressed, she's being milked every day, all day, 24 hours a day.
So is it like just your opinion, or is it like scientifically proven?
Well, this is what is actually happening. This is something that you can actually look up yourself. I mean, and it's kind of common sense too, because in order for you to get milk from the cow, she has to have had
I understand that, but is it like, what does it do to my health? To your health, I don't really care about the cows. Okay. I'm just we come from two different planets. Okay, but what I'm saying is the growth hormones for that calf, you're drinking all that. So not only that, milk increases the mucus in your body, and 3 out of 4 African American people are already lactose intolerant, meaning we're not even supposed to consume milk, and it makes most people sick. It makes most people constipated. It makes most people have acne. It's actually physically doing something to you.
In the 1950s, the American beef industry started changing the basic diet of cattle. Instead of grass, cattle were moved into feedlots and fed primarily corn. This change has had enormous effects.
Why do we do this? It makes them grow much more quickly. Time is money in capitalism. So we've taken cows that we used to let grow to be 4 or 5 years old before we eat them. We've got it down to 14 months, and we're heading toward 11 months.
Man, you contradicting everything I ever knew. I mean, this is life-changing information. This contradicting everything I ever was taught, I ever learned. Because I was told that milk, so it don't help your bones?
First of all, milk actually takes away from the calcium in your body. Yes, it does. Milk takes away from the calcium in your bones. You are better off getting your calcium from fruits and vegetables.
No cap. I gotta look this up. Y'all, y'all help me out.
Look it up.
In the comments, y'all let me know if she flagging. Cause I mean, for her to say that the milk don't do what they've been telling us milk do my whole life, this is crazy.
It's all marketing. It's all about them, kind of feeding this information to you from your child, so you just believe it. It's not even you. It's just the information has just always been out there. You just kind of believe it. But when you start when you start looking for yourself and you start to try to find answers, you'll see. Just look into it. If you're eating ice cream, that's dairy. If you're eating cheese, mac and cheese, I know you say you love mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese,
that's dairy. And you know what? Dairy is actually in a lot of products. You go into the store and you buy chips, it has milk in it. Yeah. So milk is really in a lot in products it shouldn't even be. Like, for example, what? Chips, cookies, milk is in everything.
So you would think it's in a high percentage of what we consume every day?
Absolutely. I definitely think people consume more milk than they even know they're consuming. You definitely eating and drinking a lot. Well, eating because they have it in the food. So you're eating a lot of it. A lot of milk.
Do you think veganism was in God's original plan for humanity?
I say this. In my beliefs, Adam and Eve were supposed to only eat from the garden.
So, what's in the garden?
And fruits.
Okay.
Fruits and vegetables. Well, I'm adding the vegetables in there, but if it was a garden, I'm thinking fruits and vegetables. But I at least know fruit. But I do think so, and I think once they committed that sin, then they were given the will to choose at that point. sin, I don't know, whatever, I don't know, but I believe that yes, fruits and vegetables were the original diet, and once they committed their sin, other options were available.
Right. Well, I mean, in the Old Testament, they talk about you're not supposed to eat swine and shellfish, and I know in the New Testament, Jesus declared everything clean, but I can probably agree with that too, because if God's original plan was for us to not eat swine and all these different type of animals, then I guess he probably just was like, look, y'all gonna fall short, so I'm gonna just give y'all the opportunity to do it. So yeah, I kind of agree with that.
But I also believe, the foods that we're eating now, it causes a lot of health conditions.
Yeah.
It causes a lot of health conditions. Absolutely. Pork. A lot of people have high blood pressure, and it's because of the foods. Diabetes, it's the foods. Heart conditions, it's because of the food. It's the foods that we're eating. Well, that y'all eat.
Yeah. I mean, you think things like diabetes and heart failure, do you think those more common in the black community or
Absolutely.
the white community?
It's definitely in the black community, because that's how we were. That's what the foods that we grew to love.
Chitlins, hog maw.
That's what I'm saying.
Feet. You hear me? Pork chop.
That's the food that. Listen,
ribs.
When I went vegan,
want my baby back.
my family laughed at me when I went vegan,
right,
because it was something that was so foreign to us.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what we're accustomed to. That's just what we know, and it's not until seek that for yourself and find out what is really hurting you.
Over the last 35 years, obesity rates have more than doubled, leading to a massive and rapid increase in heart disease, kidney and liver problems, high blood pressure and diabetes. Until now, I've never stopped and thought how damaging obesity was if left unchecked. It can lead to many more problems.
We used to think that obesity led to diabetes and heart disease, but the list grows longer. It's a major cause of liver disease and liver failure. The commonest cause of liver transplant now isn't alcoholism, it's obesity. It's associated with a whole range of different cancers. It's associated with Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline and impairment as we get older. Heart disease, strokes, joint diseases.
When you were 21 eating them pig feet, hog maws, chitlins,
I was eating them.
eating them baby back ribs, like what you learned that you will tell yourself when you ain't know no better? What message would you have for yourself?
You know what? I would just tell myself to just be more conscious and to be more aware and just to take better care of myself. So
basically, you telling me you feel like the higher ups, we ain't gonna say no name, y'all know what time it is, but you feel like the higher ups, the people who in charge of the hospitals, the all these different things, the food industries, you feel like they have initiatives, they have like plans, like you feel like they know this information but don't want to give it to us?
Absolutely. They definitely know this information. Absolutely. They know all of this information. And actually, in the black neighborhoods is where you will find the absolute worst food. Right. That's where you're gonna find the worst food at. And it is strategic. They know exactly what they're doing.
For its own purposes, not for yours. The fact is that the food industry knows that when they add it, you buy more. Because they know that it's got an addictive quality.
So like McDonald's, do you have like...
McDonald's is fake. McDonald's food does not go bad, okay? McDonald's food never spoils.
But I like McChickens. You don't like McChickens?
No, I don't like no McChickens.
What's wrong with McChickens?
They don't
Tell
spoil.
the camera what's wrong with
McChickens. They don't go bad. You can have a McChicken for a whole month and warm it up in the microwave and it'll still taste the same. That's not real food.
So you don't even think it's real meat?
No, it's not real meat. Food.
What about a McDouble? I like that. The McDoubles with that cheese on it. What about the McDouble?
No, that stuff does not go bad. And food is supposed to rot. Everything is supposed to rot. And their food does not rot. So just be careful. But don't eat McDonald's. Stay away. Do not feed your children that. Do not feed. It's not real food. It's not real food.
I mean, fake food.
You see, they growing chicken in the labs now.
Well,
yeah.
Explain that new law to
so
me.
what they're doing is they're getting the cells from a chicken. Mm-hmm. They're cultivating it and they're growing it in a lab. So
chicken ain't real chicken.
Chicken ain't real chicken, no.
And they're gonna allow this in restaurants.
They're already allowing it in restaurants. It's been approved. It's recently been approved by the FDA. But you think because it's recently being approved that they just starting to put it out? Absolutely not.
So we eating fake chicken, fake beef, and it's killing us.
Absolutely.
And we dying. Mm-hmm. And they eating healthy. They eating like lettuce and vegetables. And we eating.
But the good thing is you can season your vegetables to taste like chicken. That's what you can do. Because I loved chicken when I was a meat eater. I mean, just because I went vegan don't mean I didn't love it.
Right.
I did love it. So what I do is I just use the alternatives and make it taste like what I used to love.
Right.
Because I grew up eating that stuff. Of course I loved it. When I went vegan, I didn't go vegan for the animals. Now, yes, I do love the animals and I don't want to hurt the animals. Right. But I didn't go vegan for the animals.
Right. So give me some game. Like, how can I eat to still be healthy and still have like good food?
Well, I would definitely say eat fruit. Definitely incorporate fruit in your diet, fruit and vegetables. But they have a lot of options. Mushrooms, I don't know if you into the mushrooms, but I'm telling you, before I went vegan, I never used to eat mushrooms, and mushrooms is it's great for your brain health. I never knew this before, right. But you can manipulate these foods to actually taste like food that you eat now. So I just say be creative and experiment, because it is different in the kitchen. It is a little bit different, but being creative and exploring and learning, just like, I mean, you've been eating chicken for a very, very long time. So, and it took you a while to get to, maybe your cooking abilities now. Just experiment and have fun when you're trying to prepare foods. That's the advice I can give.
I went to McDonald's, right?
Oh.
I went to McDonald's and a McChicken costs like $1 and some change, and the salad costs like $8. Why you think the salad costs way more when it's only lettuce?
Right.
And the meat, you get the cheese on it, you get the lettuce, you get the mayo, you get the whole wham bam for only $1 and something.
Right.
But so why do you think eating vegan and eating healthy costs so much?
Well, for one, McDonald's don't sell salads no more. Nah. They stop with the salad.
So they don't even want us.
They don't even want you to even have the option to eat healthy.
Oh,
but I think they have made it just easier to be unhealthy, because in the long run they're gonna get more money out of you, because you're gonna have health conditions. You're gonna have it, and I mean, it may not be now because it's a build up, but they're thinking long term. While in that moment you're thinking short term because it's the cheapest. They're playing chess, not checkers, right, with your life.
So in reality, it's like it costs less, but it really costs more in the future.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's deep. So you can get cheaper food that ain't good for you right now. So you save money, but you lose in the long run because you back and forth to the hospital.
Yeah.
You paying doctors.
Yeah.
You dying. You paying for caskets. You paying for funerals. Oh man, that's real deep.
Yeah.
That's real deep. How do a black person like me and yourself go vegan? What's the steps? What do we need to do to go vegan? How do we start going vegan?
Well, what I would recommend is you do your research. That's very, very important. And I would start out on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of valuable information that you can benefit from. And I would say start there. Find foods that you actually like, recreate them, a vegan version of it that you actually will enjoy, your family will enjoy. I say start there. Start with your research and start finding good recipes. And if you are in need of a recipe book, I do have 2 vegan cookbooks on my website, guesswho'svegan.com. So if you lacking, your girl got you.
I seen one of your posts and you were saying it's important to find a why.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, your why is important because later on in your journey, when you may start to question why you're doing what you're doing, you're gonna need something that sticks with you, something that resonates with you, something that's important for you to stick to it. So for example, me, when I first went vegan, my why was my daughter wanted to do it and I wanted to be supportive of her. But once I experienced what it did for me, my why changed. My why is now because I want to live longer. I want to be healthier. I want a family, and I want to be able to feed my family nutritious foods. Like, it's not just about me anymore, and you just have to find something that means enough to you. And once you can find whatever that thing is, then I feel like you'll be able to stick with your decision. So it's important.
Like, let's say I'm trying to go vegan. What are some benefits to going vegan?
So first benefit that I experienced was my energy. My energy went from a 0 to 100 very quickly. Also, listen, I have a sister who was diabetic. She went vegan with me. Well, after my transition, she also transitioned too, and she got rid of her diabetes.
Nah.
Diabetes was a virtually non-existent disease in the 19th century, even in the United States. The estimates of the percentage of the population that were diabetic was roughly, 1 in 10,000. Today, it's 1 in 11. If you believe our Centers for Disease Control, diabetes prevalence in the United States has increased 900% in the past 50 years. Obesity rates have increased about 250% since the early 1960s.
Absolutely.
People getting rid of their diabetes and different health issues from going vegan.
Yeah, absolutely. It can definitely help with a lot of things.
What about, because I know somebody who, right now got cancer. You think like they diet and how they eat maybe
absolutely
can reverse that?
Listen, I'm gonna say this based off of the research that I've done. Everybody always do your own research, but the food of the land is medicine. It's medicine. You could do a lot with that. I could say that.
Right.
I could say that.
What are some fruits and vegetables that have health benefits?
Well, I'm gonna say all of them have health benefits. They're all loaded with antioxidants, and antioxidants help your body fight a lot of diseases. So for any fruit and vegetables, but primarily like berries and strawberries, even sweet potato. Sweet potato is a really, really good vegetable loaded with antioxidants. Broccoli sprouts, we were discussing this off camera. Broccoli sprouts is loaded with glutathione, which is a powerful antioxidant. So just incorporating a lot of different vegetables, colorful vegetables in your diet can help treat a lot of diseases. So glutathione is primarily found in cruciferous vegetables, and those vegetables include kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli. Eat your fruits and vegetables and not them fruit snacks. Eat real fruit.
This is Big Bait Podcast. You hear me. This is the Big Bait Podcast. I'm here with the CEO of Guess Who's Vegan. And guess who going vegan? You hear me. Big God, big blessings, big bait. Excuse me.